He was warned.
Everybody's telling me right now, there's people out there planning to come get me, bro. People coming here to tell my family that there's people that want to kidnap me or they're threatening to kidnap me.
He was afraid.
Even last night, I'm scared a little bit. I'm scared.
This 26-year-old travel vlogger, Elliot Eastman, who was pursuing his dreams when tragedy struck.
I don't wanna go, just only you and me.
Why?
I'm afraid. I'm afraid if we don't have somebody with us.
Elliot Eastman was a U.S. citizen living in the Philippines in an incredibly dangerous region. The YouTuber was snatched from his home with his young wife left staring at the waves.
Scared here of dangerous people. I always have to hide. See, looks like the guy had a gun. Some sort. There's like so many of them. There's like 4 of them. And they're looking at us. They're at me.
What happened to Elliot Eastman? How did he predict his untimely tragedy? Welcome to the channel, where we uncover the dark truths behind the headlines. Born in 1997 in the small town of Hinesburg, Vermont, Elliot Eastman was known for his quiet and reserved nature. A graduate of Champlain Valley Union High School in 2016, Elliot pursued higher education at Ithaca College in New York before returning to his hometown. However, life in the tiny town of Hinesburg, with its population of just 900, offered little excitement or opportunity. By 2022, Elliot was working as a DoorDasher and Uber driver while indulging in his passions for photography and skiing. But the monotony of small-town life weighed heavily on him. Craving adventure and a life beyond his comfort zone, he decided to explore the world, and the Philippines became his destination of choice. He met a Filipina girl on Facebook and decided to travel to her town to meet her. His path to the remote coastal town of Cebuco in the southern Philippines began innocently enough. He even began dating the girl he met on Facebook. Unfortunately, that romance was short-lived, and Elliot felt the girl was simply using him for money. Then, as fate would have it, he had a chance meeting with Carisha Jala during a trip in 2022. When he returned to the US, he broke up with his girlfriend and talked about it in some of his videos. He began talking to Carisha. Elliot moved to the Philippines in late 2023, drawn by its affordability and natural beauty. By May 2024, he had settled in Cebuco, eager to build a life far from the noise of Western civilization. He found it a very affordable lifestyle, surviving on less than $300 a month in an exotic place. His days filled with the sun and sandy beaches. Things with Carisha were going well. What began as summer love blossomed into marriage by July 2024. After tying the knot, Elliot returned to the U.S. briefly for work, but couldn't resist the pull of his new life with Carisha. He settled in the remote, dangerous Cebuco municipality in Zamboanga del Norte, an area deemed a red zone due to high risks of terrorism and kidnappings. It is a no-go area, even for most local Filipinos, so this was a huge risk. Foreigners never dared set foot in the region.
No tourist has ever visited this area. I'm like the first one who's ever... Well, I think there's been people who have visited, but they only stay like a day. Or they only stay for a quick minute to visit, and then they move on. But me, I've been living here for 3 months. This trip, and in the past, I've lived here for 6... Total, I've probably lived here like a whole year in total in my life. I've never seen any other foreigner here.
Elliot was incredibly trusting, almost naive, as he couldn't assess the dangers of his situation. Despite the risk, Elliot embraced life there, documenting his experiences on YouTube as one of the few foreigners to live in the region.
Check out all these cool boats, y'all. So very different. We got a Wi-Fi right here, but right now it is not working because we don't have enough battery in our solar to make it run. And it's already here to the end of the day. The solar is no battery. And these guys are collecting some wood that drifted on the ocean. Waves are beautiful.
It was good for him as well, because he finally found a beautiful life in a place that he could afford. If he were surviving in the US on minimum wage, he would probably be more worried about meeting the rent and utilities instead of living his days freely as he did in the Philippines. Elliot committed to building a life in Carisha's community. Elliot's YouTube channel, Eastman Explores, documented his experience as the first and only foreigner to have ever lived here in Cebuco for a long period of time.
It's about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. I'm just cooking some dinner. Added some salt and pepper. Carisha's gonna cook up some fish, and we're gonna have some dinner, and then tomorrow we're gonna go swimming. It's definitely different here. See this little crack in the wall here? That's the CR. You wouldn't think it's much, but little bathroom in the crevice of a wall.
His videos showed stunning beaches, the simplicity of rural life, and the challenges of adapting to a place often described as perilous for outsiders.
I've bought this whole basket of fruit for just only $3. They look like this, and they're delicious.
Elliot wasn't naive about the dangers of Mindanao. He referenced them openly, but always with a smile that suggested he believed in the goodness of his new community.
Alright, we're out here. The streets of Cebuco. Look, this is my little wife, and she's very disobedient at times, but doesn't really listen to me all the time. So, it's already Sunday, February 11th.
So tomorrow is Monday.
Tomorrow's Monday. I'm probably gonna go to Zamboanga tomorrow because I gotta fix my extension and shit. I feel like it's a dangerous area.
He planned to sustain himself through social media earnings and donations, supplementing his income with small business ideas.
Check out my store, you guys. We got canned stuff. What up, Billy? We got canned goods. We got all kinds of stuff. We got our little price list made out. These ones are like 28 pesos. It's charging like 30% markup on everything. No, dude. I'm not from the Philippines. I'm from the US, actually. But I'm living here in the Philippines, and I'm starting businesses here. And today is our first day. We got our store open. This is our first day opening this store. We've had a couple sales so far, you know. It's pretty decent. It's pretty big size, too.
At first, he started by allowing people his Wi-Fi password in exchange for some money. It would also attract customers to his small store. Elliot would share everything, even the costs. His target audience was the Western world. He wanted to show them how much value for money they could have in this region.
Yeah, the waves are pretty big and full of dirty water, but sometimes the waves get big enough. Sometimes the water will come all the way up to here sometimes. But this is my antenna for my Wi-Fi. It's like a huge antenna. It goes like all the way down that beach. The Wi-Fi signal goes all the way down there. So this is it, yeah. It's my business. I think total, I built this waiting shed too. That costed like $15,000 just for this waiting shed. And the roof and everything. See, it's pretty nice.
But he was oblivious to a more sinister audience, one that was counting his money, assuming he had some deep pockets. One can't help but wonder if he was also getting exploited, as a lot of his electronics seemed to be breaking down.
I spent 15,000 pesos alone just on this waiting shed, I'm pretty sure. And then on the solar, the Wi-Fi and the solar, I think I spent a total like 130K or something, maybe 120. Yeah, 130K, 100,000. 130,000 pesos on the Wi-Fi with solar. Maybe even more now because I just bought another solar panel. Maybe it's getting to like 140,000 pesos. Our inverter just broke the other day too, which was like 5,000 pesos. This yellow one. This one just broke. So we had to change it to this small little one. This is an inverter too. This one's cost like 2,000 pesos. This one costs 5,000 pesos. But this one already is broken, so I don't know. Only 2 months after installing, it's already broke.
The exotic foods and the simple life were a far cry from the life in the West, but it wasn't without its share of problems. Elliot would share the less than ideal living conditions of his rented home. While this was simply Elliot unfiltered, living his life and showing the good with the bad, some people didn't take too kindly to it. Indirectly, Elliot started receiving threats.
I don't really know because everybody's telling me right now there's people out there planning to come get me, bro. No, but that's true though. There's people coming here to tell my family that there's people that want to kidnap me or they're threatening to kidnap me or stuff like that. Like every day this is happening. This is like a real life thing for me here, and that's why no foreigners or there's no tourists staying here because they're smarter than that. But for me, I've been living here. I've been taking this chance. You know, even last night, I'm scared a little bit. I'm scared. There's been many nights in this house where I've just been scared, dude. So that's why I dyed my hair black. Maybe I look more like a Filipino now, right? Or maybe not. And if it comes to the point where it's like, all of a sudden I'm kidnapped and something's gonna happen to me, I'm gonna ask myself, I don't know.
These kidnapping threats were for both money and cultural reasons. Elliot was living in a high-risk area with a Muslim wife. Locals were angry, especially since Elliot flaunted everything on social media. Allegedly, Elliot's wife Carisha Jala was betrothed in an arranged marriage and broke it off when she met Elliot. Her ex was looking for revenge and felt humiliated. Carisha was young, and their body language was as if they were dating rather than a married couple. Many commenters loved their interactions, but some cautioned Elliot against her, worried that he was being honey-trapped. While he was afraid for his life, there was something else.
Then they're going to end up being responsible for it. You know, it's not even like their feeling. It's like the way they feel like maybe they're gonna be affected by if something happens to me. So I'm like putting them at risk by me doing something. That's what they're saying. But maybe they're scared that I'm just gonna leave them. Yeah, there's that possibility too. Take over the family.
The real reason his in-laws were warning him about the dangers wasn't simply out of love. They were afraid of losing him, afraid they would be held accountable. They had also grown used to Elliot's lifestyle and the business he brought them.
They think you're naive for that place, and they're probably but I'm ready to change that. Yeah, it's like I would love to like do stuff that I want to do, but I feel like trapped. I literally feel like trapped. Because if I want to go, even I want to go do something, I want to go walk out anywhere or down the beach somewhere different, like this family's going to get mad at me that I'm living with. They're going to be angry with me. That's the problem I have right now. It's the real issue that I have right now.
In many of his vlogs, he seemed to be getting tired of the same lifestyle again and again. But Elliot wouldn't have it any other way. He did enjoy this lifestyle more than he would have in the US.
It's like sometimes I do feel respected here, sometimes I don't really feel respected. So that's the other hard part. It's like I know if I went any other way, any other place in the Philippines or any other place in the world besides maybe the US. Because in the US, as an American, like somebody like me, I'm just a normal person, right? Nobody gives two shits, nobody thinks anything of it. But if I go to anywhere else in the world, maybe, people are gonna treat me good. People are gonna treat me nice. For the most part. You know, and at least anywhere in the Philippines, I know that. And if I'm not being treated well, I know I just have to move, so and then I can find a place where people will treat me well, because I know that's how the Philippines work. But I feel like I've been staying in this area for so long to the point where people, I don't even know if people like me anymore. Maybe they want bad things to happen to me now. It's like, that's how I'm starting to think. So it's like, it's really not good.
He was just looking for love and respect, and like many young people his age, it was fun being kind of a celebrity. Elliot was the only foreigner in that region. People made him feel like someone important. His wife was afraid.
When I was swimming into a river, I was swimming with that stuff.
No, I don't wanna go, just only you and me. I don't wanna go, just only you and me.
Why?
I'm afraid.
Why are you afraid? How's that any different than telling somebody else?
I'm afraid if we don't have somebody with us.
I'm scared if I'm there. I'm scared if I'm there people after.
Also, Elliot had dipped his finger into something dangerous. Elliot began working as a loan shark, lending money to locals at 20% interest. Lending money with interest was considered forbidden in the region, and as gangs were operating in the loaning business, he had unknowingly trespassed. Unfortunately, Elliot didn't heed warnings. He was content to live the way he was and continued giving money.
The guy who we lent money to, he returned our money. We lent him $21,400 and he came back with $23,500. So a little extra. We sent him back with $35K. Yeah. Should be seeing a little bit extra profit off of this. Maybe in 1 month we'll have already $3,500 profits. Business in there. We got our Wi-Fi still running, and then we're working on getting another Wi-Fi going through PLDT.
A lot of times, people will borrow from someone with a hit on them, knowing there would be no consequences if they didn't pay back. Elliot was too trusting, with his "what's the worst that could happen" kind of attitude. But the region he lived in was dangerous, and kidnappings were common in the area.
Well, it's a real story. My wife, she was in school. She was in school, bro. She was in school. I don't know what, it was like 5th grade or something. And then these kidnappers came into their school with guns. And they took one of those young girls whose parents were from like Canada or something like that, so they knew that they had money, right? They knew they had money. So those people took that girl and they held her for a ransom. They held her for a ransom of like, I don't know what it was, $40,000 or $50,000, something like that. So this is real. This is not like, I know it's like some stories too, but this is real too. My wife had this happen to me in her class. She had a gun pointed at her head by one of these kidnappers.
Elliot believed he could neutralize the threat and could overpower whoever came to get him.
I know it's like real, but I don't know how. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking too, Toltec. Like, if somebody really wants to try something, they're probably gonna get their shit beat. Like, I'm just gonna run to my room, I'm gonna get my machete, and I'm probably just gonna, like, I don't even know. Like, I'm a pretty fast runner, all this stuff, so, like, I will be decently hard to catch.
He had no idea how his words would haunt the internet less than a month after this video. On the 17th of October, 2024, Elliot went live on YouTube, eating dinner on his kitchen floor, rather disengaged from the audience. He was eating, and when asked how he liked the Philippines, he seemed disheartened.
Enjoying the Philippines? I'm enjoying it. There's some parts that I like about it, there's some parts that I don't like about it. The bathrooms are smelly. They don't smell good most of the times, and I'm just getting tired of like being around all the same people.
Sadly, this was the last time Elliot was seen alive on social media. Elliot wanted to leave. He even expressed this intention in a video when talking to Carisha.
Yeah, I know.
Kidnappers home.
Okay.
Here I am. like being scared here of dangerous people. You always have to hide. I wonder what they're doing. Maybe they're spearfishing. They're spearfishing. I think these people are spearfishing. Looks like the guy had a gun. Some sort. There's like so many of them. There's like 4 of them. 4 people there. Doing spearfishing.
He wanted to leave the country because it was unsafe. However, many factors got in the way. Elliot didn't have enough to move back to the US. He also liked being somebody, and the idea of having to leave without his wife seemed less than ideal, but he wanted out.
If I was gonna go back to the States to do that, I'd have to get my license. I'd have to renew my license. Maybe I'm gonna go to the States soon, yeah. It's very possible. Obviously, this place isn't the most safe place for, like, somebody like me. Yeah, that's like a smart idea, honestly. Get some quick delivery cash and come back. Not a bad idea.
He operated as a Western moneylender in an impoverished, deeply religious community, offering loans with extremely high interest rates. Additionally, he disregarded local religious traditions and customs, even as he married someone from within the community, creating significant tension and resentment. This was all coming to a head. In the early hours of October 18th, merely 2 hours after his live video, 4 armed men disguised as police officers approached their home. These men, later identified as members of a splinter terrorist group, had black masks on and forced their way in, immediately shooting Elliot in the legs. His wife could only watch horrified as Elliot was dragged away, unable to run. The kidnappers loaded him onto a banca and sped off. Elliot Eastman's disappearance immediately became a high-priority case for both local authorities and the Philippine National Police, given its potential impact on international relations and tourism. The Cebuco municipal government announced a reward of 150,000 pesos, approximately $2,500, for information leading to his rescue or the capture of his abductors. The days turned into weeks, with no word from the kidnappers. No ransom demand came, and no proof of life was provided. As the weeks dragged on, rumors began to swirl in Cebuco. Locals whispered about Elliot's fate. Some claimed the YouTuber had succumbed to his injuries during the abduction. These murmurs were initially dismissed by investigators, desperate to hold on to hope. Authorities apprehended 4 suspects involved in the abduction following an armed confrontation. On November 12, 2024, 3 of the suspects, Abdul Sahibad, Mursid Ahad, and Fahad Sahibad, were shot down in an encounter with police and military forces during pursuit operations that spanned from the villages of Naga to Canacan in Cabasalan, Zamboanga, Sibugay. The breakthrough in the investigation of Elliot Eastman's abduction came with the arrest of 35-year-old Jakaria Siddiq Jamani, a resident of Cebuco. Jamani, believed to be the mastermind behind the abduction, was apprehended on January 7, 2025 at the boundary of Zamboanga City and the Basilan Strait. While the motive for the crime wasn't disclosed, it became clear that one of the suspects was Carisha's ex. The initial plan was to ask for ransom. Elliot was shot at least twice after resisting his captors. A bullet went to his abdomen, and he lost his life on the boat. Shortly after being abducted, his body was dumped into Zamboanga waters. By early December 2024, authorities shifted their focus from a rescue operation to a recovery mission, acknowledging the grim reality that the YouTuber was no longer alive. Authorities continue to search for Elliot's remains, but the likelihood of locating his body diminishes with each passing day. A bullet to the leg is rarely fatal unless it causes shock, infection, or hits a vital artery. It's believed they shot him there because he had posted a video saying kidnappers would need to disable him before he could reach his room for his machete. For months, he knew what was coming. His family and the community warned him that people were coming to harm him. Sadly, Elliot's trusting nature, combined with his risky lifestyle, led to his untimely demise.